If you've got guns, hopefully you recognize how big a deal safety is when it comes to guns. Not just the 4 firearm safety rules, which if you're not familiar with those, I'll put a link to a video I made about them in the video description below. But also how important it is to keep those guns secured from unauthorized hands, whether that's little hands or other unauthorized hands. And one good way to do that, obviously, is use some sort of gun safe. Some gun safes are very expensive, they're very heavy. Today we're going to take a look at a lighter weight, more cost-effective solution from the folks at Kaer World, the Kaer 18 to 20 gun pre-assembled safe. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video where, as I said, we're going to take a look at this Kaer 18 to 20 gun pre-assembled gun safe. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, as usual, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. This is from Matthew chapter 7. Whoops. And this is verse 12. It's going to be familiar to most people, I think, even if they're not familiar with the Bible. It is the golden rule: do unto others whatever you would like them to do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets. It's just good advice. And a big thank you to my friends at Hog Holsters for sponsoring today's video. Hog Holsters are the holster I've been carrying for over 10 years now. The most comfortable concealed carry holster I've ever tried. Once I found Hog Holsters, I just quit looking. They are 100% made in the USA, down to the screws and the clips. Every Hog Holsters is painstakingly handcrafted to fit your exact pistol. No one size fits all at Hog Holsters. And if you go to their website and you see somewhere on there that you might think it's a good idea to put some sort of a code in, if you use the code Survival on Purpose, all one word, you'll be glad you did. So that's Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. Now, let me get my notes. Let's talk about this safe. And I've got some notes here because my memory might be a little shady from sleep deprivation, because I lost some sleep this week awaiting on the birth of our new granddaughter, and we have a new granddaughter, so I have to brag on that a little bit. Anyway, let's talk about this thing. So first of all, let me just start with the fact that the packaging, this thing came to my house FedEx. So the FedEx driver brought this up the front steps, weighs 90 pounds. I said, man, why didn't you blow the horn and I would have come to help you? But I'm pretty impressed with the condition of the packaging, because at some point in time it came all the way from China. These things are made in China. They're available on Amazon. It came in about a week, so I don't think it came directly from China. They probably have a distribution center here. But the fact that this safe made it all the way from China to my house, however many stops it took, including a FedEx truck, with no scratches, no dents, no dings, no problem, no damage whatsoever, I'm pretty impressed by that, just to be honest with you. So let's talk about the specs on this thing, and real quickly, and then we'll open it up and look inside, and I'll show you what's so cool about it, and also how to get it set up to where you can get in and out of it easily. So first, the outer dimensions on this particular one are 18.9 inches wide by 13.78 inches deep by 57.9 inches high. The inner dimensions, take a ½ inch off, you'll be close. It weighs 92.6 pounds. They say this is an 18 to 20 capacity, firearm capacity safe. Look, if you ever bought a firearm safe, you know that every manufacturer, doesn't matter who it is, the number of guns they list on there is probably optimistic, unless you're talking single shot shotguns. If you get 18 to 20 rifles in here, you're an expert at putting together a jigsaw puzzle. But it's a decent size safe. You can see how big it is. You can figure out how many guns you can fit in here, and it doesn't have a bunch of miscellaneous garbage in the way that blocks you from having guns. It's got some shelves in there I'll show you that are adjustable or removable, so you can load it up with nothing but guns if you want to, which a lot of safes don't allow you to do that. They force you into using shelves and stuff that take up gun space. So anyway, it is 14 gauge steel and a door, anti-pry doors with 3 20 millimeter hardened locking bolts on it. It has a 3 ways to get in it. You can have a key. It has a touchpad, biometric touchpad for your fingerprints or whatever, and then it has a touchpad for internet code, so electronic code. Pretty simple. This is how it came. I put it back in the original configuration just so you can see it. We'll open it up real quickly. One more thing. It is, like I said, it's 14 gauge steel. It's not really fire rated or anything like that. It's a really just to lock your stuff up and keep it secure and safe from prying hands. So, but it's also not hundreds of pounds and it's not thousands of dollars. The retail on this thing is $5.99, and if you use the coupon code SOP15, you can save 15% on yours. And I'll put a link to that below. So it came locked up, obviously, and this packet on it. And when I pulled it out, I tore it, but that's okay. And inside this little package, it has instructions, the manual. It has a set of keys, and then there's on the very package itself. It tells you to press the button, bottom button. It shows you where it is. Little button right here, just like it shows on the picture here. There's a button here. Push the button, twist it out just a little bit to the left, and it comes out. Okay, so then, now I'll put you out of the way. There's a hole here for the key. Key, turn this clockwise, it opens up. We'll take a closer look at the inside in just a minute. The next thing you want to do, you get your user manual. There's a couple things in here that I want to point out to you that'll be helpful to you. Here it says getting started. So it says first remove the lock cover, and then it says to pop your battery cover off. Insert 4 AA batteries. Okay, they're not AA. Right off the bat, they are AAA. So the instructions are mistaken there. So make sure if you get one from watching my video, make sure you get AAA batteries, because that's what you're going to need. You're not going to need AA batteries. Ask me how I know. Okay, now you know we got power now, right? Put your little cover back on, and you're good there. And then you can put it back on. Put this back on like so. Okay, so it says the default code instructions here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But what it doesn't tell you, again, you have to hit the pound after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pound. Then you can hear it. You do that, you open it up. Now inside there's to be a little accessory bag, and in that accessory bag are the three handles for your opening your doorknob, I guess. Also has 4 anchors. You can anchor this to where it needs anchoring. So here's how you set up the fingerprints. About right here, there's a little green button on the back of the door. So just above the holster here, just below this screw, there's a green button. It says to press the green setting button. You hear it beep, then press your fingerprint you want to hear on the center. Hear it beep, that means good. 2 beeps, 3 beeps, 4 beeps, it turns green. Now, it says after hearing 2 short beeps, remove your finger and press again. I only hear 1 beep every time. I don't know why it's too short. Maybe they're super quick together, but it's just a beep. And then it beeps a little bit longer when it turns green. So now let's see how it works. Okay, so it says there's a little bit of reset time. And you can do this for up to 30 fingerprints. So they recommend doing several fingers, several hands, just in case you need to be able to get in it quickly. So that works pretty good. Next thing to figure out is how to do the password. So you can set up to 2 passwords. So here's what they say to do about that. Open the safe first, touch the screen to wake it up, then press the number 00. Then press the green button, back here again, and then input 3 to 12 digit password and press the pound key to confirm. So we're just going to say 753, just for fun. So lock it, wake it up, 753 pound, and it works. Look at there. So that's how easy it is to set up the password. If you want to delete passwords and fingerprints, you can hold this button in the back here. Same green button, hold it down. For a few seconds until it beeps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pound. It's back to the default password. It has an alarm function. Wake it up, press the star button, Here it beep. That means the alarm's on. So if somebody's shaking this thing, trying to get into it or whatever, it makes an alarm. And you enter your code or fingerprint to shut it off. It also has a mute mode. If you don't want these, so right now, when you put those in, it's going to make a beep sound. If you want to put it on mute, wake it up and put 11 pound. Now it's quiet. So, and we'll wake it up and put it back on beep because I like the beep. And now it's back on beep. There we go. And finally, and we're going to wind up this section of the video with this. If you enter a password incorrectly 3 times or your fingerprint's incorrect 5 times, it's going to automatically alarm for 30 seconds and it's locked for 3 minutes. And the only way you'll be able to get in is to use the key. But nothing else is going to work. So let's try this. Let's just try fingerprints. 1, well, it's red, it means it's bad. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Oop, there's the alarm. And it's locked out. By the way, if you do get locked out because of mistakes and you use the key to unlock it, it sets that alarm off, which is a good thing. So let me kind of turn this thing around. I'm going to pan you down a little bit so you can see as much of it as possible. This is the door. You have a shelf up here, built-in shelf here, 2 pistol holsters, and a couple of shelves down here that are fixed. And here's, for example, Glock 48 fits in there fine. Here's one of the largest pistols I have. It's a Palmetto State Dagger full size with the optic on it. Meprolite optic fits in there just fine. So pretty handy there to have a couple of pistol holsters. And I think if you wanted to screw something else here, you might could. I'd be careful because this is, I don't know where the guts are in here. You wouldn't want to damage any of the mechanism. It comes with 2 removable shelves. Inside you've got these rails on this side here that you can put your shelves on. They just snap in here like so, flip down. You put them wherever you want them. I choose to leave these out because I want room for guns. And then you can also, if you want more gun bracket on the side, they've got this little thing here and a little bracket that goes on just like the shelves. And then this clips right on top of that like so. And you've got yourself another one. I think probably I don't need that one either myself. And then there's a shelf up here. This shelf actually removes as well if you got a really long firearms. You want to remove this top shelf. Let me just put a few guns in here and show you. This is the $99 pump shotgun 12 gauge. 12 gauge is not a big deal. Obviously, nothing hanging off of that thing to get in the way. Then I've got the Mossberg 940, another shotgun. Nothing really hanging off the shotgun. Then I've got the this Ruger 5.56, and this has the Meprolite optics on it, but it also has a bipod, which that kind of takes up a little room, and the optic takes a little room. But and then finally, this is my original AR from Palmetto State with whatever I had at the time on it, an Olight and a Vortex optic. So it takes up a little more room. So you see, even with the stuff on there, I've got 4 in here. I got room for 3 or 4 more right here easily, without everything being jumbled up. So I'm thinking, realistically, just normal guns, ARs, shotguns, whatever. You could probably put 2, 3, 4. You could probably put 8 or 9 in here without them banging into each other and all that. And then you got room for pistols here. You got shelves up here you can put pistols in. So I think this is 18 to 20 is probably pretty optimistic, but for this size safe, it's got as much room or more room than any others I've seen. This comes out, there's not a bunch of doodads and stuff in the way unless you want them there. So I like that. I like the fact that I can put this in here. I've got shelves to put magazines, a shelf up here to put ammo or pistols or whatever. So I think this is a pretty handy safe. If at first you don't succeed, you're not Chuck Norris. Alrighty, well, that's about everything I can think of to tell you about this safe, except for let's talk about some pros and cons. For some people, the fact that it's not fire rated is going to be a negative. It's not. It has no rating. Certainly, it's going to provide some sort of protection, I guess, from fire, but it's going to get hot. It's 14 gauge steel, so I don't know what kind of heat protection it'll provide, but it's also, to be fair, not thousands of dollars, and it's not hundreds of pounds. So that's some advantages to that. Some of the little details that were wrong in the manual, not a big deal. I was able to figure it out, and if I can, I know you can. But that's really about it. That's the only kind of dings that I have about this safe. It's I know that a lot of people are not going to like that it's made in China, but that's how you're able to get it at the price that it's coming in. But it's absolutely really useful. I think it is a really good way to secure firearms from unauthorized access. And like I said, I've got a new granddaughter. We've got 2 grandsons coming up. Probably going to have some more before it's over with. And I've got guns, and I don't want them to have unrestricted access to it. I mean, to be fair, I don't want anybody to have unrestricted, unacknowledged, unauthorized access to any of my guns. My wife, okay, but nobody else. So that's the big benefit to this. To me, I can put them in there and know that they're secure, and nobody's going to get in there without a lot of effort. And even it's got the alarm, if somebody starts messing with it, I can hear it. But another thing I really like about this safe that is not true with many other fire-rated big heavy-duty safes is it weighs 90 pounds. If I can secure it down and have it secure with the anchors, but if I want to move it, I can move it. Right now it's upstairs. It's very handy and able to use and move it around and do what you need to do with it without having to have a crew of people pallet jack or anything like that. And by the way, one last thing, they're calling this the pre-assembled model because they have also different models that you can put together yourself. They actually have a lot of different models on their website. There'll be a link in the video description below. But this one is the pre-assembled. I really like it. They have several different sizes and different versions of these safes. And that's Kaer safes from Kaer World. I'll put a link below. And remember, use the coupon code SOP15. You can save 15%, so that's pretty cool too. I hope this video has been helpful. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared and keep your guns secure. I'll see you next time.